first drive and your last drive, the offense wasn't able to sustain. What did you see just on offense?
Yeah, I think you said it. I loved the way that we started the football game, but I didn't think that we established any rhythm after that. And that second quarter was tough for us. We did not establish anything in the second quarter, and I think that I felt like we just didn't establish that rhythm early on in the game. And they were down some guys. They did a good job disguising what they were doing. We knew that they were going to mask their coverages and end up playing zone. But we just didn't get any of those, completions on early downs that would really get us in a good position to be successful. Didn't hit the explosions when they were available, and just weren't quite able to put it together today. And you got to give credit to New England. They played well. They had a good plan, and I thought we had some good stretches. I really liked the way we ran the football. We felt like that we could do that, and I felt like that was a highlight today for us. But in the passing game, we weren't good enough today. We did not protect the passer well at all today. We had far too many drops, and then we didn't play with great timing at times because of both of those things that were happening. So we just got to play better in the passing game against that team offensively in order to win. And then certainly the 2 turnovers were really big.
Brandon, a couple rough offensive performances here in 2 games in a row. Do you see any common thread in terms of the issues that you guys are having offensively between that Ravens game and this game?
We have some protection issues where this guy's getting sped up, and we're doing everything we can to help those guys. But, what we got to do is stay out of known pass, do a better job of staying out of those designer looks where they're setting their, third down defense up, to engineer their stuff against your protection scheme. And so that's what we have to do a better job of on early downs is getting in rhythm, staying on schedule, getting the explosive plays, mixing the run and the pass, moving the pocket. And if we can do that, then, we can be a dangerous offensive football team. But third down in the NFL, known pass in the NFL against good defenses. They have a good defense. We have a good defense. Third down's a place that you don't want to be in the NFL. You don't want to live like that. And, we just got to do a better job in the passing game. We're capable of more, and we'll be better moving forward.
That was a point of emphasis heading into the bye week, was improving in those situations so you didn't end up in those third and longs.
Yep. We just missed some plays today, Daniel. We missed some plays that were available. We have a 2nd and 1, quick game. Got Keenan open on a stick, kind of scramble, take a sack. You're 2nd and 1, and that obviously that became 3rd and 6, which became a punt. And there were a lot of things like that in the plan today that happened out there. Like I said, the drops, we had a couple third downs where, hey, you create some momentum, and we weren't able to do that. And like I said, there were some good things today that I liked in terms of how we ran the football, but just an uneven performance for sure.
Brandon, is it worrisome that your offense hasn't gotten it going at all in the last 2 years? I mean, they've had some plays, but they haven't really consistently got it going the way they did early on in the season?
Yeah, we played a good defense today, and that happens in the NFL, and I'm not concerned. I mean, I wish that we had performed better today for sure, and we got to do a better job coaching moving forward. We got to do a better job playing. But, when you play against good teams, you're going to have games like this, and what we got to be able to do is execute our offense better, because if we execute our offense better, it'll look like it did on the first drive and other drives at times. So we got to be able to sustain our offensive execution over time. We can't just have a good drive or two. We need to be able to stay in rhythm, and then we'll be better, and we'll have a lot more production moving forward.
What would you like to see Justin take away from these last 2 outings?
Yeah, I just think that, I thought he did a really nice job of checking the ball down at times, in the play-pass game. We knew that they were going to play a ton of zone. Line up like man, play zone. And so what we liked about the play-action game is if you get the vertical stretch of the zone underneath, that there's going to be checkdowns available, which there were. Steven, Austin, there were a ton of things like that available in the plan. And I thought he did a nice job of that. But that was the type of game that it was going to be. They were going to kind of bleed a little bit in the run game. And then in the passing game, they were going to make sure that they, try to take you out of the deep part of the field. And what you have to do is just be patient, be disciplined, be patient, be disciplined, be patient, be disciplined, and there's a lot of yards available, and that's going to be the formula against that defense, okay? That's the way you have to play against them when they're set up like they were today, with some of their corners being down and all that. They were going to play that game that way. So I think that that's what we'll learn is what it takes when they have a situation like that, and I know that we'll be better moving forward.
What what happened on that interception, that pick six by Adrian Phillips? Was Jared supposed to turn around, or it was miscommunication, or?
Yeah, it's just a check to the flat, and it was just a miscommunication between the two of them. It's just a double nudge protection where the halfback and the tight end are in the flat off their nudges, and there's just a miscommunication there.
Coach Staley, how do you feel like your running backs ran the ball today?
Well, I was really pleased with our production. I thought Justin, we split the 75-yard run, and he had practiced well this week, and I was really happy about that. I thought Austin ran the football well. I felt like Larry had a couple good runs, and we kind of felt like in order to play the best offense of football we could today was we were going to have to run the ball, and we really wanted to run it in the red zone too. And I felt like that showed up a little bit as well. So we need to make sure that we continue to improve, in that aspect, because as you guys see, when all you're doing is dropping back to throw, it's hard to do that consistently in this league, to live in the drop back game. Very few people can protect the passer. Very few people in the National Football League can protect the passer when it's known pass. Very few people can. And I think that's the big takeaway for me from today's game.
What did you see from the Patriots on their final scoring drive?
I saw them run the football and then throw some play action when they felt like we were in there close. And, we just weren't able to knock back enough runs to get them in a passing situation on that last drive. There were a couple close calls, but we just weren't able to, get a negative play to kind of keep them out of there. And, I love the way our defense competed today. I felt like we definitely took a step forward today as a group. I felt like, we were out there a bunch. We were out there for 35 minutes, 75 plays, which it could have been more than that. We were out there a bunch, and I really felt like we answered the call today. And I'm proud of those guys for that. But at the end of the game, we have to execute. When it's in that 4-minute situation, we have to get a 3 and out and create field position for our offense. Because even if they get a first down or two, now you've lost the field position, and that was a real issue for us today. Was, maintaining that field position.
With Jared Tillery, Brandon, with Jared Tillery on that late hit after the timeout, did you talk to Jerry at all?
The late hit after the timeout.
You called a timeout. Jared Tillery had a hit on Mac Jones.
Yep.
The Patriots were not happy about it.
Who wasn't happy about it?
The Patriots.
Yeah, I don't know about what they're thinking over there, but I felt like it was, I don't see that as being, a real issue in the game at all. I thought our guys played between the whistles the entire time, and I felt like it was. There were only like 7 penalties in the game, so I felt like it was just a hard-fought game. I thought both teams played well, played hard. It's 2 really well-coached teams playing today.
Michael Davis and Asante, or do you know anything about them?
Yeah, Asante was, in for a concussion. The protocol there, and then Vato had a hamstring where he was not able to return.
Coach, the numbers for your defense each of the last 2 games, obviously 150-plus yards for the opponent. Is it similar to what happened against Baltimore here today, the way that New England did, or are they two very different ways that they were able to?
Not at all the same. They only had 3.5 yards per carry. Brandon Bolden, had like a 14-yard run into a pressure that should have gotten knocked back, but those aren't good run numbers, in the NFL. 39 for 140, that's not a lot, and that's not what lost us the game today. I felt like our run defense actually took an incredible step forward today, a huge step forward. I thought we tackled extremely well. I thought we were really physical. I thought getting Justin Jones back was important, and I felt like the way we played on defense today gave us a real chance to win.
Special teams, particularly punt coverage.
Yep.
What did you see at it?
I saw them beat us, decidedly in that phase. Gunner had, 20 yards per return, and like I said, we lost the vertical field position in that area. And that second quarter was a good illustration of that because, we stopped them 4th down. We have to punt it, short field. We hold them, but it's a field goal, and we just we did not cover well enough today. I think we got held up today. There was some, 6-man holdups, double vice out there that we didn't manage well enough. And when you got a double vice out there, the interior part of your punt protection's got to get down there. They're the ones that have the singles, and we didn't do a good enough job of winning inside when there was the vices outside, and it hurt us today. And we got a penalty.
You mentioned the second quarter a couple times. Is that where you, despite having the lead going in at halftime, is that where you felt like the game started to turn a little bit?
Yeah, I felt like going into halftime, I felt like we felt really strongly about our chances because I felt like defensively we were playing really, really well, really well. We turned the ball over at the end of the half, great response. Fourth down stop, short field, hold them to a field goal. They weren't doing anything in the passing game at all, outside of 2 plays, and just felt really strongly about how we were playing. Felt like we had really settled in and really were playing our brand of ball. And then when Derwin had the big stop in the third quarter, I really felt like, the game was ours to be won for sure. And we didn't match up offense to defense, defense to offense, special teams today. We were just a little out of rhythm today in three phases. And particularly in the second half, we needed to play better in that fourth quarter to win. Okay, we've been in 7 games now. All 7 of them been fourth quarter games except the Baltimore game. And when they're all fourth quarter type of games, then you got to play your best in the fourth quarter, and we didn't do that today.
Brandon, were you comfortable with how the game was called offensively, and do you see it more as an execution?
Yeah, I mean, our plan to win and the game plan was engineered for exactly the looks that we were seeing from them. It's a really good defensive team over there. Okay, now they're dealing with some injuries, but they're extremely well coached. There's a lot of veteran players over there, so I give full credit to New England. I thought that they played really well today, but we got to execute better. There are plays that we're going to watch today that can go for a lot more than what happened today. And then, like I said, from an execution standpoint, the drops, our protection, issues, I felt like really held us back today.